Lily's father, Ethan Carter, was no ordinary man. He had spent 20 years in the military, serving in classified special operations missions. He had seen the worst of humanity: terrorist ambushes, war-torn villages, and betrayals that cost lives. During his final mission in Afghanistan, Ethan had lost his entire unit in an IED explosion. The only survivor besides him? Shadow. Shadow was more than just a K-9, he was a military asset, trained to track, attack, and protect with lethal precision. After that final mission, the military deemed Shadow too dangerous for civilian adoption. Ethan refused to let his partner be put down. He fought tooth and nail to adopt him, promising to retrain him for a peaceful life. But Shadow? Shadow never forgot his instincts. Now, years later, Ethan had built a quiet life with his 11-year-old daughter, Lily, in a small town. But the past? The past was never truly gone. And on this night, it would come crashing back. Lily had always been adventurous, too adventurous for her own good. She knew her dad's rule: stay on the main roads. But tonight, she was running late. The sun had already dipped below the horizon, and the quickest way home was through the narrow alley behind the old warehouse district. Shadow, always at her side, sensed her hesitation. His ears twitched, and he sniffed the air. Something was off. But Lily ignored it. She was halfway through the alley when she heard it, the low, guttural roar of motorcycle engines. She turned, and her stomach dropped. 5 bikers entered from one end. She spun around. 2 more blocked the other side. Trapped. Their leader, a towering man with a scar slicing across his face, dismounted. His black leather vest was marked with the symbol of a grinning skull. Lily's heart pounded. She had made a terrible mistake. Shadow growled, a deep, warning sound. Scarface smirked. "Look what we have here, boys. A lost little girl." The other bikers chuckled, stepping closer. Lily tried to move, but Scarface grabbed her arm. Shadow lunged, lightning fast. His teeth clamped onto Scarface's forearm, drawing blood instantly. Scarface screamed, trying to shake him off. But Shadow was trained for war. One of the bikers reached for a knife. Big mistake. Shadow released Scarface and lunged at the knifeman's throat. The man barely dodged in time, falling backward. Another biker grabbed a metal chain, swinging it. But Shadow ducked and tore into his leg. The bikers weren't laughing anymore. Then, a gunshot. Lily screamed as one of the bikers fired into the air. Shadow froze, standing protectively in front of Lily, his eyes locked on the shooter. Scarface clutched his bleeding arm, breathing heavily. "Call off the damn dog, or I put a bullet in its head." Lily's lips trembled. Shadow wouldn't stop. And neither would the bikers. Until a deep voice cut through the chaos. "Put the gun down." Ethan Carter stood at the entrance of the alley, his own gun raised, aimed directly at the shooter's skull. Behind him, 2 unmarked SUVs screeched to a stop. Men in black combat gear emerged. Not police. Not local authorities. They were federal agents. The bikers froze. "Who the hell are you?" one of them stammered. Ethan stepped forward, his gun unwavering. "The last person you ever want to cross." Scarface lunged at Lily, trying to grab her as a hostage. Shadow intercepted like a missile, tackling him to the ground. Ethan fired. The shooter's gun flew out of his hand as the bullet clipped his wrist. In seconds, the bikers were pinned to the ground, handcuffed by the agents. Scarface, still on the ground, glared up at Ethan. "This ain't over, Carter." Lily's breath caught. They knew her father's name. Ethan knelt beside him, gripping his jacket. Oh, it's over. You just don't know it yet. That night, back at home, Lily sat on the couch, her hands still shaking. Shadow lay beside her, calm but alert. Ethan finally spoke. They weren't random bikers, Lily. She looked up. What do you mean? Ethan took a deep breath. They were looking for me. Lily's stomach turned. Why? He ran a hand through his hair. Because of what I did before you were born. Lily's eyes widened. Her father had never talked about his past. He exhaled. I wasn't just a soldier. I was an operative. The missions I did, they weren't on record. And the people I took down? They never forgot me. Lily clutched Shadow's fur. So they wanted revenge? Ethan nodded. And they thought hurting you would be the best way to do it. Silence. Then Lily whispered, what happens now? Ethan looked at Shadow. Now? We make sure they never come back. Lily knew she had to do something. She grabbed her phone and hit record. This is Shadow. Tonight, he saved my life. But there are people out there who think they can take whatever they want, who prey on the weak. They were wrong. To anyone watching, remember, the good guys always win. If you believe in courage, loyalty, and justice. Like this video. Comment if you think Shadow is the real hero. And subscribe for more stories that prove good always wins. Because heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Even on 4 legs.